want to be loved, don't you? You've given them everything. You've bent over backwards, sacrificed, and poured your soul into them. You've been the person they could count on, the shoulder to lean on when no one else was around. You've been their rock, their constant. You've given them everything. And what did they give you in return? Nothing. Not a damn thing. But the second you pull back, the second you stop feeding into their endless need, they're scared. They're trembling because now they realize the truth. They were never as strong as they thought. They never realized it was you holding them up. You and only you. You were the foundation of their world. Now that you've stepped away, they're left standing on nothing. They don't know what to do without you. They were never strong enough to stand without your support. You were always the one holding them up. And now they fear your absence like nothing else. But here's the kicker. Do you know what the real punch is? They never thought you would leave. They thought they could keep using you, draining you, taking everything you had to give without ever giving a damn about what you needed. They thought they could take your energy, your time, your love, and that it would be there forever. But now, you're gone. Now you've pulled back, and now they see the emptiness. Now they're standing in the wreckage they never thought would come. Now they realize that they never earned your loyalty. They need you, but only because you've become the one thing they fear losing. They're afraid, and they should be. You've been soft, too soft. You've been giving your energy away to people who never deserved it, never earned it. You've been bending over backwards for them, making sure their needs are met, all while yours were left in the dust. You thought love was enough. You thought being there for them would somehow make them see your worth. But they didn't. They never saw it, and worse, they took it for granted. They were never grateful. They were comfortable with you. Too comfortable. They thought you'd always be there, waiting for them to need you. But here's the truth they can't ignore anymore. You've been living a lie. You're not some endless resource for them to drain. Your loyalty, your love, your time, they're valuable. You've been giving all of it away like it's nothing, but it's time to stop. You thought your love would change them, make them see you, make them appreciate you. It didn't. It never will, because they've never had to earn it, and you've allowed it. You've been soft, weak, living in fear of losing them, but that stops today. The moment you stop bending, stop giving, that's when you take control. No more excuses, no more waiting. The world doesn't care about your softness. It doesn't care about your kindness. It cares about what you can command. You've been operating under a false reality, thinking that love alone could change things. You can't. Love is a weapon, but only if you use it right. You've been handing it out to people who've only used it to feed their own weaknesses. It's time to wake up. No one values what they can take for free, and it's time to make them see that. Your absence isn't a threat to you. It's a weapon in your arsenal. You're not some fool. You're a force. And now they're gonna understand what it's like to lose you. This is where the shift happens. This is where you stop being the person who waits for things to change. You stop being the one who hopes they'll finally see your worth. You've been living under the illusion that your loyalty would eventually be recognized, that they'd one day realize how much you've sacrificed. But that day hasn't come, and it never will. The truth is, you've been your own worst enemy. You've been the one holding yourself back. You've been the one giving away everything you have to people who don't deserve it, all because you were afraid of being alone, afraid of facing the truth. But now you understand. Now you see what's really been happening. You've been letting them control your worth. You've been letting them define who you are by how much you give, how much you're willing to sacrifice. No more. The moment you pull away, the moment you stop giving them what they think they're entitled to, that's the moment they see who they really are. Weak, dependent, helpless. They've been feeding off you, and you've been letting them, but not anymore. This is your breaking point. The moment you decide you're done with the excuses, done with the lies you've been telling yourself. You can't change anyone who doesn't want to change. You can't fix people who don't see the need to fix themselves. But what you can do is demand respect. What you can do is demand your worth. You've been tolerating disrespect for far too long. You've been accepting the crumbs they've thrown your way like that was all you were worth. But no more. You will never, ever let them control you again. They will either rise to meet you or they will watch you leave. And they will be forced to live with the consequences. You're the one who has the power of the control. It's time to stop letting fear dictate your actions. It's time to rise. Now, you have to understand something fundamental. You are the weapon. You've been walking around pretending that you need them, pretending you can't stand on your own, but that was a lie. You were always the one in control, and now you've seen it. The moment you pulled away, you didn't just take a step back, you shifted the entire power dynamic. They thought they could take advantage of you forever. They thought they could drain you dry and still have you coming back for more. But now, you're untouchable. Now, you are the one in command, and they don't know what to do with it. You're not afraid anymore. You don't care what they think. You don't care if they beg for your attention, for your love, for your time, because you know now. You don't need them to survive. You are a force in your own right. Every step you take from here on out is one they can never predict. They don't know how to act when you pull your energy back. They don't know how to react when you stop giving them what they want. You've become the storm, and they're caught in it. You don't need to be liked. You don't need to be needed. You need to be respected. You need to understand that your absence is not a punishment. It's a lesson. You've taught them exactly who you are, and now they either rise to meet you or they remain small, forever standing in the shadow of the person they took for granted. This is the moment when you realize that you are the one who dictates the terms. You're no longer the one who's afraid to let go. You're no longer the one who worries about losing people, because when you stand in your power, there's nothing anyone can take from you. You are an unstoppable force, and they are left watching you rise, powerless to stop it. There's no turning back now. You've crossed a point of no return. You stared your weakness in the face and rejected it. You've abandoned the comfort of dependency, the safety of living for others, and you've stepped into the unknown. You've embraced the cold truth that only you can define your worth. No one else has the power to determine who you are. No one else can dictate your strength or your path forward. The moment you let go of the need to be needed, you found something more powerful than you ever imagined. Freedom. This isn't about revenge. It's not about proving anything to anyone. This is about the rebirth of who you are. You've walked through the fire and come out the other side, unrecognizable to those who thought they had you figured out. You're stronger now. The weakness you once held onto is gone. The fear is gone. You've shed the old skin, the one that begged for validation and lived in the shadow of others' approval. Now you stand as your own force, unshakable, unyielding. The people who once took you for granted are nothing but echoes in the background of your life, and they can stay there because you don't need them anymore. The truth is, they never saw you coming. They thought they could walk all over you, drain you, and use you. But you were always the one in control, and now they know it. You've become the unbreakable wall they can't climb over, and now they will either respect you or they will watch you leave them behind, wondering how they lost you in the first place. You're not just a person anymore. You're an unstoppable force. You step into your power, there's no one who can challenge you. This is your moment, your turning point, and no one will ever be able to take that away from you. Now, you stand at the pinnacle. You've shed the weight of your past, the self-doubt, the fear, the need for approval. You no longer care about being liked or being needed. You are the power. You are the force. that no one can break, no one can manipulate. You've rejected weakness, turned your back on comfort, and now you know exactly who you are. And that person is unstoppable. Do you feel it? That fire coursing through your veins, that raw energy that comes from knowing there is nothing in this world that can stop you unless you allow it. This is the moment when you realize your potential is limitless. Every barrier you once thought was too high, too strong, too far out of reach is all gone. Now there's only forward. There's only the next challenge, the next level, the next victory. You are the weapon. And weapons don't fear battle. They embrace it. They welcome the fight because they know they can never be broken unless they choose to be. You've stepped into the realm of the untouchable. You are the storm, the thunder, the flame that burns everything in its path, and the world will either bend to your will or watch as you consume it. You are no longer the person who waits for things to happen. You are the person who makes things happen. You are the one who dictates the terms. And the moment you stepped into your power, you became the unstoppable force that the world has no choice but to reckon with. There's no comfort here, no soft landing, no gentle ending. This is the point of no return. You've made your choice. You've seen your worth, and you've embraced the fight. You faced the people who tried to use you, who tried to drain you, and you've let them go. Now they'll either rise to meet you, or they'll watch as you leave them behind in your wake. But make no mistake, the choice is yours. You are the one who defines your future now. No more excuses, no more waiting for validation, no more allowing others to decide how much of yourself you give away. You are the force, the creator, the destroyer. If they can't see it, if they can't rise to meet you, then you leave them behind. You're done being a stepping stone, done being someone's crutch. This is your time to rise, and nothing will stand in your way. You've been through the struggle, you've faced the storm, and you've come out the other side, unbroken, unyielding, stronger than you ever knew possible. And now you understand. This is your destiny, to be a force of nature, to be unstoppable, to rise above every challenge, every person who tried to hold you back, every obstacle that dared to stand in your way. You are the storm, and nothing, no one, can stop you. The truth is simple. You either rise, or you stay weak. There's no middle ground. There's no place for excuses. You've chosen strength, and now it's time to show the world what you're made of. Rise or stay behind. The choice is yours.